TV. Tune in, don't miss out, got something new. They're breaking down the truth and bringing it to you. From pranks to reviews, they keep it fresh. Every click, every view, it's the best of the best. Welcome to Real TV. Hit that subscribe and you'll see where the fun's just begun. Oh, it's wild and free. Get real, get live with Real TV. Real TV. Hey, hey, hey. Real TV. All night and days. They got the laughs, the thrills, and the heat. From your screen to the world, they can't be beat. Trending now, they're on the rise. So click that bell, watch it come alive. Welcome to Real TV. Hit that subscribe and you'll see where the fun's just begun. Oh, it's wild.
Welcome to Real TV, guys. How you doing today? And before we get started, hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe and share. Yeah, how you doing today? We ain't gonna do too much talking. I just like to welcome you guys to the channel, and we're gonna get right into it. Okay.
Alright, so quick story time on my bad breakup.
Hey y'all, get ready with me while I tell you guys how I got caught cheating for the first time. I caught my dad cheating on my mom, and when
All right. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Real TV. Yeah, we about to get into these TikTok cheating stories. Yeah, these girls about to tell their little stories about either how they caught their man cheating or how they got caught cheating. One or the other. I don't know. But let's check this out. We ain't gonna waste no time. Let's get into them clips. Hit that like and that subscribe button if you're new to the channel.
Alright, so quick story time on my bad breakup. So me and this guy, I used to live in Atlanta. We lived totally separate, but we used to always like hang out with each other, go to the gym, go out to eat, dinner, date nights, the whole nine, right? So we always I would always stay at his house. And then sometime I would stay home. But this one particular night, he told me, he texted me and he was like, baby, you're gonna stay home tonight and just write down some goals, and we're gonna talk about them tomorrow, over dinner. I was like, okay, bet. But I'm like, wait, since when does he want me to stay home? We always stay together. So whatever, I thought nothing of it and I tried to go to sleep. I could not sleep, you guys. I was something was not right. I just couldn't sleep. So I said, you know what? Screw this. I miss him. So I'm just gonna grab his favorite snacks from the grocery store and head over, right? Did a little prayer. Just reveal to me what I don't see, right? If this person's for me, let it just be nothing. So I pull up. Driveway was a car. I'm like, okay, so this is not his mom's car because his mom drives something totally different. Rang the doorbell. 1, you didn't answer the door. 2, I called you, no answer. When I went to go back to my car, at the tags, you guys, it was a girl's car. It was a girl's name on the tags, and left his favorite snacks right at his door to show him, I just came to see you, and I brought your favorite snacks, and this is what you gave me in return. So bet. The next day he called me, blew me up, blocked him. I'm good. You're lost, not mine.
I caught my dad cheating on my mom, and when he found out, he tried to choke me. Grab your snacks, grab everything, because this is gonna get juicy. When this happened, it was a Sunday, so my grandma, which is the mom of my dad, she ended up come visiting from Mexico, right? And she's a very, very religious lady. So every Sunday, my mom and my brothers and all of us, we will go to church, except for my dad, right? Well, this particular Sunday, I did not feel good, at all. I was having fever, I was having cough, you name it. I ended up staying because my grandma was like, you know what, it's okay, let her stay. My mom and my grandma and my brothers, they all left, right? My dad was not home yet. He was out getting beer because he was an alcoholic. So my dad knew that every Sunday we were gone because we were at church, and we would church for at least like 1 hour, and then after that we usually go to eat. I heard him get home, and he had his friend with him because he was living with us at this time, this friend, and out of nowhere this woman comes out of the car and my window, I could see outside. So I was seeing everything. Like my dad was outside, his friend was outside. This woman was also a girlfriend of one of my uncles at the time, but my uncle was not there. My dad proceeds to compliment her, saying, "Oh, you're so beautiful. I wish you were my girlfriend." He proceeded to say, "No one's home. We could go into my room and no one will have to know." But little did he know, I was home and I was seeing everything outside of my window. Even that, she was willing to go inside, but then she backed out. Not only that, but this skank was basically teasing him. She was pulling down her bottoms and showing him, let's say, booty cheeks. I was enraged, okay? Because not only was he doing that shit, but literally my mom was out with his mom, bonding with her. And he proceeded to keep saying little comments like, "Oh, I wish we could do it in my room. Nobody's home," or whatever. Eventually, the woman said, "Okay." So my dad was like, "Okay, let me just clean up the room a little bit and I'll go to the restroom and I'll come back." So me, obviously, I'm not gonna let that happen, of course. So he comes in the restroom, right? And I wait for him to get out of the restroom. And as soon as he gets out, I get out of my room and I start yelling at him. I start telling him, "Why are you doing that?" I'm like cussing him out in Spanish and English, both, because he was bilingual. So I was cursing him out, and y'all should have seen his face. His face was blank, like, holy shit, she heard everything, I'm gonna get in trouble. I was scared because his face, he looked at me like if he really wanted to do something to me. I ran into my room because I couldn't go through the front door or the back door, and I locked it. He ran after me and he was trying to get into my room very forcefully. He almost even broke my door. And eventually I did end up opening the door because he said that he just wanted to talk to me. I was super scared that he was gonna break down my door and do something so much worse. But he did end up talking to me and telling me, "Oh, like, I'll give you money for you not to tell anything to your mom." And then after I said no, he proceeded to say, "Well, what you heard was wrong." And then that's when I started cussing him out again. I said, "I know what I heard. I was there. Literally, I saw everything through my window." And he even fucking proceed, bring her inside the house so she can be the one to tell me, "No, you're just exaggerating. You never saw anything. Nothing happened." And obviously, I cursed that woman out. Eventually, she did leave because I did not want to fucking talk to her, of course. Tried to play it safe. So I was like, "Oh yeah, like, I'm not gonna tell my mom." Like, yeah. I did that so he could leave me alone. I ended up leaving. Ran away because I was so scared. I ended up calling my mom. She did not pick up because it doesn't matter who's calling her. If she's in church, she's not gonna answer whatsoever. I did end up calling a friend, and that friend did pick me up and took me to her place. Once my mom found out that I was calling her like nonstop, she ended up calling me and she was like, "Hey, what's wrong?" And I did end up telling her like, "Hey, my dad was doing this." And she said, "Okay, we'll talk to him. Like, you're gonna be there with me and I'm gonna confront him." So I ended up leaving with my mom. I come into the house with my mom. My dad was laying in bed. He was like, I guess, sleeping. And my mom came in and she was like, "Well, why is she telling me that she caught you cheating and you were trying to do something with a woman?" And obviously he did not react good. As soon as he heard that from my mom, he got up really quick, like jumped at me and tried to choke me. Thank God that my mom pulled me, because I don't know what would have happened if he actually got his hands on me. Obviously, my mom and my dad, they went back and forth. about what was going on. And the worst part is that after that happened, my mom didn't leave him until like a couple more months after that. I ended up being really mad at my mom for not leaving him, and I never really talked to him after that. I usually just stayed in my room after that happened because I was genuinely scared of him. But I am glad that he is no longer in our lives. Trauma. Hey y'all, get ready with me while I tell you guys how I got caught cheating for the first time. This is not a funny matter, and I started doing my skincare and I realized, let me just record a story time while doing a get ready with me. Okay, so this is not funny at all. Like, cheating is, I don't support cheating at all, but I only did this because that person that I did it to was a dog and they deserved it. Okay, this is not, also by the way, not my current boyfriend. This is someone from like my past. This story takes place literally around this time last year. I feel like everyone's summer of 2023 was just so like, what the fuck. So the reason why I did this also, I'm not like trying to excuse why I did this, but I feel like there is like an valid excuse as to why I did this. And I didn't do anything crazy. I was just texting other boys. Like, this wasn't like, I wasn't linking people, I wasn't doing nothing with people, I was just texting other boys. So yeah, so I literally just did this because he was a cheater and he was doing way worse to me, and I got like fed up because karma wasn't working and I was really mad. So I was like, I need to be karma, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it myself. So basically, I was dealing with this person for like 2 months at the time when I got like caught, and basically like throughout those 2 months I was being loyal. Like, I was actually doing my job, I was being loyal, I was, you know, doing what I was supposed to do. And he wasn't. He was like, he went out kind of a lot, like to parties and stuff, and he wasn't doing his job. He was dogging me. Like, there was like a point where I stopped being loyal to him though, and it was like 2 weeks before I got caught up, because I just remember like it was like a really specific moment where I found him talking to like this other girl, and it was like this girl that kept popping up in our like relationship, and I was like getting sick of it. And it was like a really big like crazy moment, because and then it just made me be like, you know what, like he's still not respecting me, so I'm gonna give him his little karma. Anyways, so to the story. So basically I caught him up, and I was like sick at that point. I was like, no, like this is like done. Like, I remember I was crying at work when I found out this huge thing that he did, and I was like, yeah, no, like I'm done. Like I can't keep staying with this person. Like, but I was like, I can't leave him. Like I can't leave him. Like, I'm addicted. I can't leave. So I was like, I'm gonna just do what he's doing, but I'm gonna do it less. Mind you, where I'm from, I feel like everyone, not like everyone knows him, but like where I'm from, like I couldn't really text people like from where I'm from. I had to like reach and branch out to other states, because every boy that like I was trying to like text knew him, followed him, knew of him. So it was like to a point where I was like, bro, like every boy I was texting, he was like finding out. So I was like, no. Like when we would take like our breaks, because we were kind of like on and off, he would like find out about like what I was doing. So the only boy that I technically got caught up with and I was only texting was this boy named Ashley, which like his name wasn't actually Ashley, but we're gonna call him Ashley. So I was talking to Ashley, and basically we were only talking for like 2 weeks, and it wasn't anything serious. Like, so it's July 29th. Basically that day, me, him, his friend, and my friend were all in his car, and it was pouring, it was raining, like we were, you know, and basically that was like the plan to do. So then basically we were in the car on the way to like the spot, and he has Apple CarPlay. You could already tell where the turn is taking. So he has Apple CarPlay, and I was like listening to Instigated by Lil Durk. So I was like, can I play that song? He's like, yeah. So I plug in my phone and I start to play that song, and it just went downhill from there. So he started like switching the songs and stuff, and I was switching it back, and then I don't know what clicked, but he was like, oh, let's check your messages. So he pressed the messages. Like, this all happened so fast. So he pressed the messages, and I unplugged my phone. But since it's like a car screen and shit be lagging, and I was slow, he saw Ashley's name at the top. So my dumbass is like, oh my gosh. So he puts like the music all the way up, and like at this point, like we're not speaking. So I'm like looking at my friend, and I'm like, what do I do? Because I'm in the backseat with her. I'm like, what do I do? And she's just like,
she's like, delete stuff off your phone. So I started deleting everything off my phone, which was like, I shouldn't have done that because like whatever, but I was also doing that because every time I call him up, first of all, to this day he will never admit that he dogged me like that. Like he'll never admit that he cheated on me, but I know he did. He knows he did. Everybody knows he did. Like, when someone tells you that your man's a hoe, listen to them, because they are not a liar. Like, they are a hoe. Whenever I would catch him up, he would delete everything. Like, he wouldn't even, like, let me look through his phone. Like, he would let me look through his phone. Like, after we finished arguing and stuff, he would go, and then he'll be, like, call me, like, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes later and be like, oh, do you want to look at my phone? And my dumb ass would be like, yeah, I do. And then I would look at it, and there would be nothing there. But you know what you saw. You know what you saw. And like it would convince me that I was crazy. I was envisioning things, but like I wasn't. I saw it. Anyway, so I deleted everything because I'm like, he doesn't, in my head I was like, you don't even, I'm like having a seizure. How I was thinking was like, he doesn't have the decency to show me his phone, so I'm not gonna have the decency to leave everything there and show him my phone. And that's what I did. I deleted everything and I kept lying. So then we're parked now, and at this point, like, we're all, and the tension is really high. Like, he's very mad, but I'm like still trying to act like a little bimbo, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So then I tell my friend and his friend to leave the car, and he's like, no, like, you're not leaving the car. Like, they can't leave the car. Like, this boy looked like he wanted to beat my ass. Like, he was so mad, and I feel like he was just mad because like I did it and he didn't expect me to do it. So yeah, so they left the car and it was just me and him in the car, and it was so awkward. Like, I was literally sitting there in silence. And at one point he left the car and was outside because where we were parked, his friend / cousin lived there, so they went like over there, and it was just me in the car, and then my friend was in the other car by herself. So I started calling people. I started calling all my best friends, and I was like, what do I do? I just got caught up. Like, what do I do? And they were all telling me, like, just to admit the truth and tell him, like, why you did it, and, like, why you feel like he deserves it, and that he didn't have the decency to tell you what he did wrong, so you did it back. And then my other friend, my best friend, was like, don't admit shit. He didn't admit shit to you, so you don't admit shit to him, and you just keep lying. So that's what I did. I just kept lying. I kept saying he was my friend. I was like, he was my friend. I just go to him to talk about stuff, blah, 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 blah. And obviously, if you're in a healthy relationship and someone cheats on you and you find out and she's saying or he's saying that they go to this person to talk about stuff, you're going to be like, why can't you talk to me about that? Like, you're my man. I mean, you're my girlfriend, you're my boyfriend. Like, you can't talk to me about that. And like, rightfully so, if he didn't do what he did, he had a reason to feel that way, and that's what he said he felt. But like, because he did what he did, I didn't feel bad, and I'm like, you can't feel that way. Like, you cannot feel that way. So eventually, like, we were just still like going back and forth, but I was like in the clouds. So I was like still like just like trying to process everything in the moment, and I'm like, I cannot believe I got caught. And then I started singing Sad Songs by Lil Durk to him, which was like not like my finest moment. I just remember I was singing that to him because I was like, I did not know what to do. It was like a moment of silence. We weren't talking to each other. He was on his phone. He was mad, and I was just singing Lil Durk. And then I remember he recorded me and was like calling me a cheater and stuff, and he posted that on his Snap.